Gas World Tech, and my compliments to the organizers, and also my thanks to the organizers for inviting me here on a topic which is, I can say, my favorite topic. If we are talking of transition to sustainable low carbon economy, we are talking of renewable energy, we are talking of going into such forms of energy and usage of material which reduces waste, which reduces burden on the environment, and is sustainable in the long run. So let me just talk about renewable energy first. Let me just talk about energy transition first. India, as on today, is largely dependent on coal. In terms of primary energy, most of our energy is coming from coal. Some energy is also coming from untreated biomass, or what is called the such sources of energy which are not classified as modern sources of energy. And rest of the energy is coming from oil, natural gas, and small portion, less than 10%, is coming from renewable sources. If we include large hydro also, then probably the total energy coming from such sources which can be termed as clean would become larger, greater than 10%, but in any case, still that total would be around, say, 16 to 17%. So remaining entire energy is coming from fossil fuels or from unprocessed biomass. Now, how do we take our country to a stage where most of our energy comes from such sources which are renewable, replenishable, and are not a burden on the environment? We are lucky in the sense that we have huge solar insolation. We are also lucky that we have huge land and big coastline, and also uh, sea next to the coastline. Our area which we can use for offshore wind energy is also quite large. So resource wise, we are quite good as far as renewable energy is concerned. The only challenge is now to get that renewable energy into usable form. So let's look at solar first. So huge quantities of solar power has been added to the grid in the last few years. The total installed capacity of wind and solar put together mainly has crossed 1 lakh megawatts. But in terms of energy, the contribution is still insignificant. So the Honorable Prime Minister has announced a target of 450 gigawatts. Even with 450 gigawatts, we are not covering even maybe in terms of energy, we go to something like, say, 35% or so. We are not able to reduce coal substantially. If we have to reduce coal substantially, then probably on renewable energy we have to go much higher. There are projections given by BP which say that by 2050, roughly 33% of the world energy would come from renewable sources. So we also have to target a similar figure. So we are projecting that we can go up to, say, 33 or 34% from renewable sources. For that, then the installed capacity would have to be much higher than even this figure which has been projected. So our 2050 target will have to be even higher. This would involve a lot of changes in the way the grid functions as on today. The grid has to be able to absorb a much, much larger renewable energy capacity. A lot of energy users have to also move off grid because grid balancing may become a challenge. So with cost of storage coming down, there are huge possibilities of getting a lot of energy off grid, particularly for cooking, home lighting, and certain other home applications. Then wind. Wind also has huge scope, and we can probably expand to a large extent. Biomass, and from biomass, so many different products are possible. So biomass to biofuels, biomass directly in different forms, so that we can use pellets, or we can use in other forms, and that could become a good source of energy for the industry. And then other sources of renewable energy would be sources like, say, geothermal, or tidal, or various other forms which are possible. For India, what we can say is that solar would probably be the best, or most abundant source, and then wind would follow, and others may be uh, able to play a much, much smaller role. If we also consider the transition phase, where while we move towards renewable energy, in the next 20 years, we still have to depend largely on fossil fuels, and there has to be a transition amongst fossil fuel itself to move towards slightly cleaner forms, from coal to, say, cleaner forms of, say, petrol, diesel, or natural gas. And also coal can be gasified, and we could make it cleaner, and then try to use syngas to make various products like methanol, or even ethanol, or DMA, or so many different types of products which can then be blended into various other forms of fuel. If we want to fulfill the energy requirements of the country, then we have to look at cleaner fossil fuels for the next 20 years at least, and that becomes a part of transition. And therefore, natural gas has to play a much, much larger role. And natural gas in such forms, so that it can be transported easily, it can be used easily for industry, for transport, in the form of CNG, for cooking, and for commercial purposes. So that's why we have this target of taking natural gas uh, in our primary energy needs from the current 6.7% to 15%, and it might go even higher than that. So 15% target is to be achieved by 2030. So going beyond 2030, we could think of much higher percentages. If the world is at 24%, we could also move to a higher levels. But in order to do that, first thing is that we have to have reliable supplies of natural gas. Domestic gas has to play a very major role, so domestic gas production has to go up. Second thing is that we have to have price stability, because several of these sectors, like, say, power will not accept gas at a price which is so volatile, and they, because they have to uh, their PPAs are not passed through, like they won't be allowed to charge 2 times or 3 times the price for power, just because the price of gas has gone up. So which means that they need stable price. Similarly, fertilizer farmers are the consumers and government has to subsidize to a large extent. So right now government is giving higher subsidies whenever price goes up, but then that is not sustainable again. And then city gas distribution, home, domestic connections, even CNG. So therefore, this volatility has to be addressed by some mechanism. It could be hedging, it could be various other mechanisms, but something has to be done about it. And the price has to be affordable. It has to be such so that it can compete with other sources of energy, including coal. So therefore, in this transition, natural gas will play a very, very major role, but then certain issues need to be addressed. And biofuels, ethanol, compressed biogas, these are two fuels which can be produced in abundance in the country, considering that we have huge quantities of surplus food grains, we have huge quantities of agriculture residue, municipal waste, which can all be used to convert into these two things, ethanol and biogas. And this can then be a sustainable, environment friendly fuel for long times to come for India. There could be certain other sources also, like say biodiesel. Currently, the feedstock price has gone up tremendously, so biodiesel supplies have dwindled. But then in future, probably there will be different other feedstocks also possible, and we could think of larger quantities. Hydrogen, which is considered fuel of the future, is very promising. Green hydrogen, particularly if we can make from solar power. So these are some of the fuels which would help in building low carbon economy for the country, and we look forward to early transition into such areas which would then ultimately lead to a situation where as a country then we can say that we are we are close to carbon neutral.